أيوة. أوكي.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all of you, and welcome in a new training session for GMUN, the Global Model United Nations. It's a great opportunity for you all to join and be active because this is a golden chance that you can rarely have because usually such programs are paid. In various countries nowadays, women are not given the rights, especially in being involved in STEM, which is science, technology, economy, and mathematics. Although women have the power and the ability to be the most creative in such fields. And for that, the main topic of the GMUN is increasing the involvement of women in STEM fields. And now I'll keep you with the most talented trainer, Zainab Arzoni.
Thank you so much, Maho, for this outstanding introduction. And today, guys, is our last training session. Are you excited?
Yes.
Okay. So today, first, I will give you some tips for MUN. And when we finish those tips, we will revise everything from the beginning. And then I may close the WhatsApp group. Only I will send you some recorded videos of all the lessons. They will be short, and this will give the chance to all students who couldn't have the opportunity to join our training sessions to have their seats in our formal conference. So with no more long introductions, let's start.
Okay.
Okay, so do you see my screen? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, حاجتنا.
Please all mute yourselves. So the first step for today is to how to get your info. As you know, GMUN is the Model United Nations. So all your informations written in your speeches, position paper, speakers list, they must be all true, and you have to get them from credible resources. Because as you see now, we are in the depth of fake news. Anyone could create a website and to spread fake news on it. So we have to avoid this. And let's see what credible resources can look like. So first, you can get your information from New York Times websites. And next, you can get your information from all the websites that end with .gov or .edu or .org. Okay, guys? So please try to avoid Wikipedia, because as you know that Wikipedia has a risk to publish fake news. So you have to avoid this in order not to lose marks by saying false news or information. So again, the most credible resources are the ones from New York Times, the ones that end with .gov, that end or with .edu, or that end with .org. But of course, if you couldn't find your info from such a website, okay, you can rely on other websites, but try to make sure the informations are credible by checking it from multiple websites. Because when many websites publish the same info, this means it's credible, and you have to check the date of the info, because if it's really in the past, so it may be false. And here's, as I said for you before, that before starting to prepare your position paper speeches, you have to search for your country profile, the country you are presenting. So what's a country profile? So first, the country profile gives you a background info about the country you are representing. it gives you the GDP of the country. The GDP is the money that a country have, and it gives you everything about the population, about economy, geography, and so much. So there is a website you have to log in just for the country profile, which is called the SIA fact book. You have to Google sia.gov.gov. As we said, that everything that ends with .gov is credible. So here's a video on how to get your country profile. Let's see. So first you have to Google SIA fact book, and then you have and then you have to press this sia.gov. You can directly write in Google sia.gov. Please mute yourselves. Okay, so you will be in this site. You have to press countries. Yeah, you have to press countries. Now you will see all the countries will be visible to you, and you have to select the country you are presenting. So here are all the countries. You press the country you are presenting. For example, I'm gonna press Australia, and then you will see the country profile of Australia will be visible to me. What can I see? Here are some photos of Australia. You can see the country flag, the special country products, the map. And here's an introduction about Australia. You may read, but don't focus on it. As you can see here on the, as you can see on the left, you have geography, people and society, environment, government. We have economy. Economy is the most important to know the GDP of the country. So why we do have to know the GDP of the country? Because when you are an unmoderated caucus and you have to come out with resolutions, okay, you have to benefit from countries with high GDP to fund your resolutions, to fund maybe your organization, if you're gonna make an organization, if you're gonna make a council for encouraging women, okay? So you have to take this into consideration. So on a piece of paper, you may just write just the population in your country, your country's area. You have to know your country's flag. You have to know, of course, your country's GDP, which is the most important. Is there any question before we continue?
No.
Okay. And here's also some tips for you for public speaking. You have to try to focus on your beat, have a change of tone, not only go in all your speech with the same tone, low or higher low. You can have a normal tone, and then on the most important things, you can just stress on this word, or you can higher volume. So this will be an added marks for you. You can use comparisons by using simile. Okay, Maho is making me laugh. Stop, Maho. And then you can have some pauses, like don't go really quickly. As we said yesterday, don't talk too quickly. So in order for everyone to understand you, you may have some pauses. Okay, you may say a strong information, a strong sentence. You can take a breath and then continue. This is called a pause. Okay, and then please, if you can, to focus on your body language. Okay, guys, I know it's virtual and you can't show all your body, but as you noticed in all my training sessions, you see my hands are always here and there. You see my face, my annotations, my emotions. So the body language is really essential. So look, here I'm sitting on a table. I'm gonna place the laptop far from me, and you can see. Okay, so now you can see. Now you can see half of my body. As you can see here, or my hands are visible. So I can also move a bit further. Okay, and then present my speech from here. So look, if I'm holding now the speech. Okay, so look, here I'm presenting. This is a more diplomatic way, even if we are virtual. Honorable Chair and fellow delegates, no woman has to be a victim of physical abuse. Women have to feel like they are not alone. Okay. And imagine now I'm just sitting like this, and then I'm near the laptop, and I repeat them. Okay. Speech. Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. Could you notice the difference? Yes, Tatinda, did you notice the difference? Yeah. So you see that when I was standing there, okay, far from my computer, far from my phone, even if you're using a phone, it's okay. You can place it on a table, on a fixed thing, and you can go further, stand tall, fix your posture, be confident, and then you go on with your speech. But guys, have a note, don't read your speech. You have to prepare well so that you can read and look at the camera, okay, as if you're having an eye contact with the audience. This is a really important thing, and you will have marks on this. So you have to fix your computer or phone further from you when you will present the speech, okay? You have to stand tall, fix your postures, and then you start your speech, not by reading it, but somehow, okay, I'm not saying memorize it, but don't just put your eyes in the speech. No, you have to make somehow eye contact with the audience, with the camera. And the last tip for you for public speaking for today is enunciation. Enunciation is speaking fluently. Because guys, preparing well is really, really essential. Why? Because you have to speak fluently. Like you can't come and say, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates, no woman has to be a victim. Okay, so like I'm pronouncing this. Yeah, like I'm spelling this word, it doesn't sound natural, it doesn't sound fluent. Okay, so you have to prepare well in order not to pronounce every single word, and to sound more natural, to sound more confident, and to sound more fluent, and to get more grades. Okay, so here are all my tips for you. And now, before we go on and start revising all the lessons, if you have any lesson, if you have any question, you can ask me. Okay, I'm waiting your questions, or I will start by questioning you. Yes, let me go. Yes, Darshan, you have a question, dear?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, hello. You can ask.
No, ma'am, I'm asking you to ask questions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but let's wait a bit if someone have any question. Guys, don't hesitate. If you have any question, if you have any misunderstanding, you may raise your hand. It's your opportunity today. We're not going again live. I will record for you all the lessons on the WhatsApp group and send you all the tips, all the countries you will be representing, all the subtopics you have to prepare. Actually, you know, in other MENs, they don't send them the subtopics, but I'm gonna help you, okay? I'm always losing my confidence. Okay, someone just sent in the chat. So Sakil from Bangladesh. Okay, he sent, oh, okay. Wait. I see someone sent me a direct message. Okay, dear. There's a beautiful guy just sent me a direct message that he lose his confidence when he is telling something to so much people. Look, dear, okay, I know that being able to present a speech in front of many people, in front of people from different countries in the world is a bit difficult, but you have to challenge yourself. It's your opportunity. Look, it's virtual. Imagine that only the camera is seeing you, that only you are with your camera. Okay, don't imagine that anyone is seeing you. You're just alone with your camera. You have to challenge yourself. You have to push yourself, prepare well. And look, I have a tip for you. When you prepare your speeches, okay, stand in front of the mirror and present the speech in front of it. And this will get you extra confidence. Okay, I'm sorry, but I want to, like, Sakil, could you please unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am. I hear you.
Oh, Sakil, could you please open your camera? Because I believe you're really beautiful. And as you can see, I'm opening my cam and Maho is opening his cam. Tatenda is opening his cam also. Okay, yeah, great. It's great to see you here, dear. Yeah.
Ma'am, I am always losing confidence when I was telling something with so much people.
Yeah, look, it's okay. You look, you see me here like I'm talking confidently, I'm training you in a great confidence, but don't be. But look, when I first stepped on a stage, when I first presented in front of my class, I was trembling. My words were running out of my mouth. I couldn't have this confidence actually. And you know, Miss Karina knows this very much. Miss Karina, tell them about the first session in BICAP. We were really shy. We didn't open our camera. We were really shy. But by time when we got adapted, now as you can see, we are leaders. So you have to challenge yourself, dear. Okay, you will be a great leader. Just you have to work on your confidence. And at any time, you can inbox me. You can ask me any question. I will, of course, reply. And if you have anything you want to say, please say.
Ma'am,
There are
I
a lot
always
of
try you to follow because you always speaking truly, but I can't speak English truly. I always try my best.
So are you saying that you don't know a lot of English? You have an English barrier?
Yes.
Dear, it's totally okay. Look, like we are here from different countries, so English is not our first language. Actually, English is my second language. When I first went to real MUN, I didn't know this much of English. Like I was searching and translating every word I want to say. But by time I learned new words, and now, yeah, I have a group. I have a variety of words. I have a variety of English. So now I know this much of English. But by searching, Google will be your friend in this program. You have to search anything. You can translate anything. All your speeches will be prepared on a paper, and you have to prepare them and just come and read them. I'm not telling you like to study them. No. Yes, dear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now, are you encouraged more, or are you still shy?
Let me
Yes, now
let me
in my level.
let me
Yeah.
tell you
Yes, Miss
something.
Karina,
Can
please.
I?
Yeah, sure.
Do you know, when I was a student like you, I was learning French and Russian because I'm near to Russia here in Europe. So I started learning English few years ago. And you know how? I just start chatting with different people from different countries, and I translated all the sentences from English into Romanian, and I text the answer in Romanian and translate into English. And I did like this maybe for 1 year or more, till I understood that I can write a short sentence without translate. So never be disappointed if I can do this in my age, you surely will do this more better than me. So try, be confident. No one is here to judge your English, okay? We are coming from
So,
different countries. So be confident.
Yeah, sure. We're not judges. We are just trainers. We are here to guide you. We are here to support you and to motivate you. Okay, dear? So don't worry. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Challenge yourself and let them all see the shiny Sakio. Okay?
inshallah, yes, ma'am.
And now, guys, let's revise, just have a bit of refreshment to all our lessons. But don't worry, to all new students here, I will send the lesson recorded, just the lesson without the recording of the meeting. I will again record them. Only the lesson will last just 5 minutes. So it won't take you 30 minutes to revise them in a day. Please all mute yourselves to start revising everything. Yes. No. No. Okay, and don't forget, if you have any question, please write it down to ask me when I finish. Okay.
Okay.
And now, if you remember, last time we started from here, the first of MUN. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, for all new students and to all old students, that's a start. So here's the GMUN. So what's the GMUN? So first, MUN is the Model United Nations. As you know, that the United Nations have about 192 countries in it. And whenever there's a global issue, they form in a conference like this. And from each country comes one delegate that represents his or her country. And they start discussing this global issue in a diplomatic way, in a formal conference, and a criteria. And of course, they form blocks and allies to form resolutions to curb this global conversation. So it's the Model United Nations, but this time it will be global because we're having it virtual, and all students from all around the world are participating with us. So each student will be a delegate for a country found in the United Nations by representing it. So for example, if you are from Bangladesh, it's not necessary to represent that Bangladesh. No, you will represent another country from the United Nations, maybe Lebanon, maybe Romania, maybe France, in order to know more about other countries and not just by sticking to your country. So you have to prepare, there will be a topic where all delegates should prepare to for the final conference, which is increasing the involvement of young women in STEM fields. STEM is the abbreviation of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So you have to prepare speeches on the topic, position paper, I will tell you how, and your public speaking. So as you can see here, here's some photos of the real MUN. So here's the most important thing for MUN, it's the flow of debate. So how will the conference go on? So first, as all you remember, we have to start by the roll call. So me as the chair, I will start calling you by the country you are presenting name. So if you are representing France, I will call France. I won't call you with your name, okay? I will call your name, your country's names from A to Z in alphabetical order. And when I say France, so the delegate of France have to respond to me that has the delegate of France is present. When you say present only, so this means that when we finish and when we vote on the resolutions, you can be with the resolutions, against the resolutions, or you can be abstained. Abstained means you are not with or against, okay? But if you said in the roll call, when I say your name, when I call you by your country's name, when I say France, if you say the delegate of France is present and voting, then you are obliged when we have to vote on the resolutions that you are with or against. You can't be abstained because you said you're present and voting, so you have to vote.
Okay.
Then we move to the speakers list. The speakers list is a small speech. It has to include your country's position on the topic and a summary about it. Then we move to the moderated caucus. The moderated caucus is also a part where we discuss the subtopics. So, for example, we have this large topic, increasing the involvement of young women in STEM fields, but we have a branched subtopics, maybe 10, maybe 15. I'm gonna send you them. You can prepare, for example, half of them, maybe all of them, okay? It's up to you. You can also search for more subtopics, which will be an added value and marks for you. So you have to prepare just speeches on every, just one speech on every subtopic. It can be just short, just for 40 seconds, not more. And then we have the unmoderated caucus. It's discussing the resolutions where you form the blocks, groups with your allies, the countries that are friends to you. Haifa, do you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am. Can you please repeat the topic name?
Yes, sure. And Haifa, don't worry. I will send you to join our WhatsApp group, and I will send everything to the group. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
With these lessons. So the topic for the conference is increasing the involvement of young women in STEM fields. STEM or science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Okay, thank you
some
so much,
countries,
ma'am. I understand.
most welcome, dear. Because you see in some countries, they say, oh, women can't succeed in math. Women are fools. Women can't be an engineers. Women can't hold to study science. So for this reason, we chose this topic. So the unmoderated caucus, you will form groups. So I will move you to break out rooms with the countries that you are friends with. So if you are France, okay, maybe you will have Romania as your ally. But for example, USA and Russia, they are enemies in real life. So you can't form a group with them, okay? Because in real life you are enemies. And next, when you all finish your resolution papers, you have to close the debate, and then we vote on the resolutions. If I'm going really quickly to all the new participants, don't worry, I will send all those lessons recorded. You will hear them in a more slow way, so you may revise them again. So here's the moderated caucus, please.
No,
the moderated caucus, it's all about discussing subtopics. For example, we had this big topic, increasing the involvement of young women in STEM fields. We can have, look, I have here the subtopic. Okay, those are the top subtopics. We can discuss if you are from France. No, if you are, for example, from Algeria, you can have a speech about Algerian women in STEM fields. Okay, if you're representing France, you can have French women and French women in STEM fields. And as your country goes on, you can also talk about the international actions that your country did to encourage women to be in STEM fields. You can talk about the girls who code. I will send you all the subtopics. Okay. So how can you prepare a speech for the moderated caucus? So here's how to make a speech. You have to start with this phrase: Honorable Chair, fellow delegates. It's obligatory to start with Honorable Chair, fellow delegates. All your speeches must start with this and end with thank you. But what should you include in your speech? You can include, you have to start with a catchy hook about this subtopic. It can be a definition, a code, statistics and facts. It can be some questions and then you have to answer them. But of course, definition, try to avoid it because it's the least attractive, but you can link it to other hook types. And then you have to include your country's position of the subtopic. You may include what did your country do from this subtopic, or what it's white. Yeah, it's white. And then you have to include recommendations or solutions from your mind to solve this subtopics of this subtopic. You may include one recommendation, two, as much as you can. And here's where some examples. Okay, we discussed them before. I will send in the group. Okay. And here's the unmoderated caucus. So you have to spread into groups, and really, and we spread into groups. We spread into groups, but here, because we are virtual in our GMUN, I will be putting you in breaking out rooms. So you will only be with your group in a room, in a conference alone. I can interfere this room and help you. And when you finish your time, you will be back with our conference. You have, before the unmoderated caucus, to write notes and notes to form groups with your allies. Allies means the countries that are friends to your country. You have to start discussing resolutions on the topic. You have to refer to your country profile. As you know, when I was teaching you some tips, I said how to search for the country profile. You go for cia.gov, you press countries, you select your country, and you will have all your country profile. Write the draft resolution with the formal form. So look, and we will have 2 days for the conference. On the first day, you have to write a working paper for the resolutions. It will be like this. So first you have to include your committee. I will send you your committee, the topic, and the signatories. The signatories are all the countries found in this block. And then you have to include the solutions, but as bullet points, as main ideas. So here's a sample. I include the topic, the committee, the signatories, and here are recycling computers. Just the name of the solution. I didn't go deep. Implementing telecommunication, blah, blah, blah.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Ask.
You will make our groups, and what will be the topic for each group? Like, do we have to search for different countries, or will we be given a same country?
Look, dear, no, every one of you will be representing a different country, okay? You will all be working on the same topic, which is increasing the involvement of young women in STEM fields. But before the conference, you have to search on Google who are your allies to your country. For example, if you are representing USA, you search who are the allies of USA. And during this session, you send to them notes in the chat box. You don't send them directly the notes, you send them to the director. And then if he see that the format of the message is formal, he sends it back to them. So then I will see to whom you sent messages, and I will put you in a room with those countries. You send them messages, okay? And you will be in a group or in a room. Do you know the breakout rooms in Zoom? It will be a conference alone, a mini conference. You will be just alone with the group. You have to start discussing this working paper. You have to write it. One of you can start writing it, and the others may suggest solutions. And then when the time finishes, you are back to the conference. I can interfere the room to help you all. And then on the second day of the conference, we will again repeat all the flow of debate. And then when we go again in an unmoderated caucus and we form a room with our same group, you have now to flip the working paper into a resolution paper. So as the working paper, you have to include the committee, the topic, and the signatories. all those countries who are in the block. And the sponsors, you can choose from every group just one sponsor to tell all the conference what did you discuss during this unmoderated caucus when you are back into the session. And then you start writing the solutions, but now you have to go deep in every solution. You have to start by this format. You can start with referring to or shedding lights on, going back to highlighting, concerning with, suggesting. But look, you have to use the same tense. So if you start with, for example, simple present, you have to go with always simple present, refers to, sheds light on, highlights, okay, suggests. And here's a format of the draft resolution. So as you can see, I write such a word: strongly recommends, requests, calls upon, recommends. I write the solution, and then I have to explain why am I putting this solution. Look. So look, the second one, the third one, sorry, calls upon. I'm saying that our group calls upon campaigns to teach the people in the disconnected countries about the internet, the advantages, and how to use the internet. So here's, I put calls upon, I've put the solution detailed, and then here I put why I've put this solution. So they will fight for the rights of internet. So I say that we have to teach people in disconnected countries how to use internet, so they will be able, they will get to know internet, and they will know how to fight for this right, because humans have a right for internet. Okay, so here we finished our first lesson. Actually, this we are doing just a revision, guys. Okay, those lessons we explained them in the previous. We still have 10 minutes. In the previous sessions. Okay, I'm just going to a second one. Okay, so here's the point and motions. If I'm going really quickly, just because I'm revising, guys, I'm gonna send you the recorded lesson on the group. Just I'm giving a view. I'm giving just an idea for all new students here. So we have points and motions. Look, guys, in a formal conference, we have to have a diplomatic communication. Like, you can't talk like this in a formal session. There's a criteria I have to talk in. So first we have some points. Those are called points. So points points are beneficial for. So we have 4 points. Look, I'm gonna start with the easiest one. The point of personal privilege. When delegates, when you feel when a delegate experiences personal discomfort, you may raise your hand. Okay. For example, if you want to go and drink water, or you want to go to the toilet, or you want to go and smell some fresh air, I don't know, you may maybe like you want to drive, okay, and you have to leave the conference, you raise your hand, and when I say your country's name, you say point of personal privilege, may I be excused? I say yes, and then you can leave the meeting and return back, okay? As if like if you are in real MUN and you want to go to the toilet, you raise a point of personal privilege. You can't say may I go to the toilet. It's not diplomatic and it's not formal. You have to just raise a point of personal privilege. And then we have this point. Yes, dear.
Ma'am, meaning it is a formal language for MUN.
Yes, great. It's a formal language for MUN, like as if we're communicating, but in a formal way. and diplomatic way, because there is a diplomacy award. And then we have this point of information. When a delegate presents his or her speech and there is something unclear, or you want to ask him or her any question, when he or she finishes their speech, you can raise your hand. I say your country's name and you say point of information. I say yes, delegate, you can ask your question, and then you ask your question to the other delegate. Thirdly, we have the point of personal inquiry. So it's it delegates when you misunderstand anything regarding the flow of debate. For example, the roll call, the speakers list, the moderated caucus. If you want to ask any question regarding the flow of debate, regarding the council proceeding, regarding the conference proceeding, you raise your hand. I say your country's name, and you say point of inquiry, and you ask me, the chair, okay, any question regarding those, okay? And the last point is the point of order is raised by a delegate to complain of improper usage of procedure to the chair. For example, I will be the chair. As I told you, the flow of debate. First, we have the roll call, then the speakers list, then the moderated caucus. If me as a chair, I skipped the speakers list and directly moved to the moderated caucus, it's wrong. You have to alarm me. You have to motivate me. You have to correct me, okay, by raising a point of order, and you say, chair, you skipped the speakers list, and this doesn't follow the order. So then I noticed that I made a mistake, and so we will go back to, so here are the points that can interrupt, so you can directly open your mic and say them. So if you really if you are experiencing discomfort, you can directly open your mic and for a point of personal privilege, and I directly say that you can be excused. Okay, but it's preferably, guys, to not interrupt with any point. Please it's more diplomatic to let the speakers or the chair finish their talk, and then you can raise a point, any point of or motion. And now we are moving to motions. So the motions let us move from one part of flow of debate to another. So in order to move from the roll call to opening the debate, to opening the speakers list, the moderated caucus, blah, 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 you have to motion something. You have to say something in a diplomatic way. So you are asking me to open the debate, but in a formal way. So, so first, when the conference starts, I say that delegates, the House is now in order. Are there any points or motions on the floor? You have to all raise your hands to open the debate. When I say, for example, India, the delegate of India must open his or her mic and say, the delegate of India motions to open the debate. And all the delegates who agree with this motion must say second, okay? And you have to all say second, okay? You directly open your mic and say second. Okay, now we open the debate. We have to start by the speakers list. You have also to all raise your hands and motion for opening the speakers list. You say, for example, the delegate of France motions to establish the speakers list for speakers time 1 minute. Okay, and I can take 1 motion, 2 motion, 3 motions, as much as I can, because every delegate can have a different time, and then we vote on those motions, and the one that gets the highest votes will pass. So I will say all the delegates who wish to discuss the speakers list raise their hands, and I will record on my screen the delegates who want to speak in the speakers list, and I will start calling them by their country's name, and they will say and present their speakers list. Okay, and finish. When we finish the speakers list, we have to move to the moderated caucus, and then here's for the moderated caucus, we also have a motion. But here in this motion, you have to here to specify what subtopic you want to start with. For example, every delegate must delegate can motion to start in a subtopic different from the other. Okay. Okay, guys.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, I will skip those because yeah, I explained them for 2 times in the training sessions. I'm gonna send them on the group. No, that's the position paper. Okay. And now I'll just will revise the position paper and we will end our session. And all the lessons will be detailed and explained just with my voice, not in a recorded session, and sent on the group. Okay, because I know that this is an advanced program, it needs more training sessions, but like we can't have like 10 training sessions and we're only having 15 participants. Okay, it's small. So, and now, as I told you, you have before you have to prepare a position paper, before you start preparing your speeches, guys, the position paper gives you a background info about everything about the topic, your country, your speeches, about everything. So when I send you the countries you will be representing in the conference, okay, you will have maybe just 2 weeks or a week and a half to submit your position paper before the deadline. You have to submit your position paper before the conference in a week. So if the conference will be in 11 and 12 November, the next month, you have to submit your position paper maybe on 5. The deadline will be on 5 of November, okay? Because you have to do it before your speeches and before, okay? So let's start. Come on. Hamad. What? So here's how to write a position paper. It's really easy. Just you have to follow the format. I will send you the PowerPoint. So first, as we said, the position paper, it gives you a background info about the topic and your country. It prepares you for the conference and writing your speeches. And of course, it has a specific criteria. Guys, Ms. Mahash Hadi explained for you everything about the position paper. I will just revise it. So first, you have to start with a heading. The heading should include the name of the country you are representing, France, Lebanon, I don't know. The name of the council I will send you, the coat of arms of the country. So for example, if you are representing Algeria, you go on Google and you have to search the coat of arms of Algeria, and they will give you images. You select one and put it. And also you have to include the topic. So here's a sample. Here's the name of the country. You have to put this name of country, blah, blah, blah. The name of council is like this. You don't have a student D. The topic is this. And here is the coat of arms. It's a bit like the flag of the country, but it's not a flag. It's maybe a symbol, a symbolic flag. Okay, guys? And next, you have to start with the body paragraphs. First, you have to start with the introduction. You have to answer those questions in a well-organized paragraph, and it will be the introduction. First, you have to answer, why is this topic important for the committee to discuss? For example, if this committee is International Women's Council, so of course it's important for this council to discuss such an issue in order to call for gender equality and to call for women's rights. And second, you have to answer, why does your country care about this topic in general? Okay. And the third question you have to answer in this introduction, in this paragraph, is what is your country's policy on this topic? So what did your country, maybe she made a law, okay, according to this topic. Maybe this is a problem in your country. You explain how it's a problem in your country, and if it's not, you explain that this topic is not a problem in my country because my country is giving women all the rights, or women are encouraged to involve in STEM fields, and like this. Okay. And here, and second, you have to move into a new paragraph, which you will include the national actions that your country did in your country, within your country. You also answer those questions. Is this topic an issue in your country? Okay, if yes, you say yes. You don't say yes, but you say. And then the second question you have to answer is, what did your country do to address the issue on the national level? So inside your country, maybe your country, the government, maybe it did some campaigns inside your countries to encourage women to join STEM field. Maybe it did awareness campaigns for high school females, okay? But so you have to just include the solutions, or what your country do inside your country, not on the international level. Here's a sample of the national actions paragraph. So I start by this way: on the national level, Algeria, you mentioned the country you're presenting, foreign blah blah blah, and then I list all the national actions it did. Okay, look guys, as you can see on the end of every sentence, there's a small number like this. Okay, just keep it in mind till the last slide. Okay, so I directly started with what Algeria have done, as this topic isn't a problem in Algeria, but it was in the past, and then it curbed it by doing those national actions. Then you have to, this paragraph is before the last paragraph. It's the international actions. You have to answer those questions. It's easy, just you're answering the questions in a well-organized paragraph. So how has your country addressed this issue, but now on the international level? So maybe what conventions, treaties, and or solutions has your country supported on this issue? By conventions, I mean conventions with other countries on the international level. And here's a sample. I say, on the international scale, Morocco ratified convention. Here I mentioned a convention, and yeah, I mentioned everything she did, it did on the international level. And last but not least, you have to write a well-organized paragraph about your recommendations from your own on the topic. So how do you think we can solve this topic? And you know what? Those recommendations that you write on in your position paper, you have to use them in the conference, in the unmoderated caucus, when writing the resolution paper. So for that, we say that the position paper is really essential. It prepares you for everything, for the conference, for the speeches, for everything. It gives you a background info about everything. So for that, you have to benefit from every paragraph in the position paper. Okay, you can have a subtopic about the international actions that your country done. Okay, so you prepared them, you just copy paste them in a speech. So the recommendations, they are your own solutions to the problem. They shouldn't be researched. Use your own creativity. You have to be creative, logic, detailed with your recommendations. Like, don't just say, okay, making campaigns for women. No, go deep, be detailed, making awareness campaigns for high schools, females in my country, to increase their awareness about this and this and this. Okay, and then you have to start your paragraph with having clarified. You have to copy paste this. Okay, having clarified its position, and then you write in the parentheses, the country you are presenting. For example, Norway. Norway recommends, and you say, what do you recommend, blah, blah, blah. And here are some synonyms for recommend: suggests, calls, open, requests, blah, blah, blah. And here's a sample. As you can see, I started with having clarified its position: Morocco or France, Romania, Lebanon. I don't know what will be the country you'll be representing. Recommends, and then I put the solution. And as you can see, I use linking conjunctions to link the paragraph. Transitional words. I say an additional Morocco requests, and then moreover Morocco requires. I don't use the same word to all the recommendations. No, okay. Added to that, yeah, Morocco suggests, blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, we ended our last session for today. If you have any question, please, you may raise your hand. And don't worry, guys, I will send all the PowerPoints on the group. I will send your countries on the group. I will send the subtopics on the group. Everything will be on the group. And you have my number on the group. I'm the admin. You can directly inbox me and ask me any question at any time. And now time is open for questions. Delegates, do you have any question? You may raise your hand. Adam, do you have any question?
I would like to ask you the question about the language.
Yes, dear, it will be in English, of course, because it's a global model United Nations. We are here from different countries, but we have the English language in common, okay?
I don't have problem. I could be able to ask in English, but I would like to inform that you said before English is not your formal language, or it's not your you know.
Yeah,
it is not
but
your language.
you know, I also English is my second language. I speak Arabic, but everything you will search everything. You can translate everything and write your speeches. Okay, so everything will be translated.
Okay, great. I sent all my documents and I English language. I don't have a problem, but I would like to say that I really improved my language through these sessions, and you already helped me.
Thank you so much, dear.
I'm happy to share it with the different people in countries.
Thank you so much. I made me glad with your presence.
Would you like, or I would like to ask you the question about the language, that maybe it would help me in order to language more than as right now, in order to be
always in English. Yes, you can translate on Google Translate. Yes. Are there any questions? Yes, Darshan, do you have a question?
No, ma'am.
Okay, great. So it seems no one have a question, but guys, if you have any question, don't hesitate. You can inbox me at any time. And now let's end this session and see you the next month on 11 and 12 November and the final conference. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. I need to leave.